Ladies and gentlemen.
What is going on? It is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. It is Thursday, 7 p.m. Glad you guys can make it. Let's get right to it. Be sure, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share this live with someone else. Share the joy and get us out there. I want to give a big shout out to our guest from last week, Elizabeth Johnson, came on, waxed poetic about her Navy career and then the Honor Her Foundation. In my opinion, I put her up there as one of the best guests we've had. If you get a chance, check her out. She is episode, where are we at now? 148. You want to check her out on Spotify. If you want to check out the rest of our back catalog, this right here is Bubba Wesley, and he was our guest on episode 27. You can check out our entire backlog of episodes on iHeartRadio, CastBox, Amazon Music, Spotify, and Apple. Big shout out to Got Your Six Culture. Check them out, veteran-owned business. They do all the merch for the podcast, sameflagsameoath.com. And can't talk about them without talking about Becky Jo Art, www.beckyjoart.com. She is the talent in that family, for real. And shout out to our guys over at Project Zero. They got a bunch of cool events going on, but the biggest of which is this Saturday the 9th. They're going to be at Project Halo Brewing, crawfish, $40, all you can eat until they're completely sold out. So that should be a lot of fun. Another big shout out to Drew Hernandez, friend of the podcast, been on a couple times. On Friday, May 8th, he's going to be in Clarksville. So all you Air Assault Fort Campbell soldiers, get out and check out Drew Hernandez. He's going to be at the Joker's Comedy House. It's going to be a lot of fun there. Today, we have Kevin Lombardo, a United States Air Force veteran. He's actually still active duty. Valor Vacations, Boot to Beaches nonprofit, does wonderful things for veterans. And what I'd like to do is read a little bit about Boots to Beaches. Boots to Beaches is a veteran-founded 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to honoring and supporting those who serve our nation and their communities. We provide restorative vacations, cruises, and all-inclusive experiences to veterans, active duty service members, first responders, and their families at no cost to them. Service does not end when the uniform comes off. Many of our heroes carry the invisible weight of long deployments, high-stress careers, and repeated sacrifices that impact their mental health, mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Boots to Beaches exist to give them something they often place last, time to reconnect, recharge, and heal with the people that matter the most. Through donor-funded travel experiences, Boots to Beaches creates opportunities for families to slow down, make memories, and rediscover balance, whether that's on a peaceful beach or a cruise ship. Cruise ships are in the news right now, or a bucket list destination. I do see Al in the background here. I know our boy Matt is ready, so I think without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Matt Johnson.
Welcome, everybody. It's Thursday. That means it's podcast day. We're just going to name Thursday's Triple Threat Vet Podcast Day. There you go. They got Taco Tuesday. You got Mother's Day, which is this Sunday, by the way. So if you guys haven't went out and got your gift yet, don't be that asshole that goes on Sunday morning while she's still sleeping. She knows you got out of the bed to go buy her shit. Go do it early. Shout out to all the moms out there that hold things down every single day. Hope you guys have a great Mother's Day. And then shout out to Becky, my beautiful wife, and the talent of the family ties and hips. Right in that, she just attended Sanger Fest in New Braunfels, Texas over the weekend, this past weekend. And I will tell you, it was amazing to see people appreciate the work that she does and her art as much as she loves making it. So shout out to everybody in New Braunfels that came and saw Becky Jo, and she actually sold a painting out there. So, you know, people do appreciate great art, and she's doing an amazing job. Can't wait to see what she's got coming out of there next. You know, most of the time the vault doors are closed. I don't get to see much. I'm lying. I know everything that's coming out. But Becky, I love you. You did great. I'm proud of you. And I can't wait till I'm married to a world famous millionaire artist. Maybe then. No, so welcome everybody to the Triple Threat Vet Podcast. We're excited that you're here. We're excited for our guest. And without further ado, let's take it to the hero.
First of all, she won't be famous till she's dead. So you just got to hold off a little bit longer. Once she passes away, her art will go for millions. But until she's dead, you're not going to make any money. Starving artists is a thing. So Becky, sorry, but you got to die. Not anytime soon, though. Just eventually down the road. So shout out Bob Mayer. He sent me some pictures of some good food. Looks good, Bob. I'll take a plate. You can mail it to me over here. I do want to say this too, Matt. You mentioned Mother's Day. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm not buying my wife shit. She is not my mother. I am not buying April shit. April, the kids are grown. They better bring their mama some gifts because this guy ain't buying shit. She is not my mom. She is my wife. She is not my mom. She acts like my mom's mom and tells me what to do. I don't ever listen, but I ain't buying her shit. Anyways, so just some more important news. I'm a little hurt this week. So my daughter had a project in school where she had to write down 30 things or something like that, 25 things that she's thankful for. Like the most thankful shit. Bro, if this was a barbecue competition, I wouldn't even have walked. Like I didn't even, I was number 11 on the list, dude. Water was ahead of me. Water, a nice bicycle, a roof over her head, her teachers, friends. I made the list at number 11. I'm not walking. Like I didn't even get an honorable mention. It was like, and then it wasn't even me. It was like good parents. So I was like, damn, bro, I'm number 11. Water beat me, bro. So I'm a little hurt this week because she's my favorite. She still's my favorite. I'd kill everybody in this neighborhood and everybody in this city for her. She's still my favorite. But apparently I'm number 11 favorite on her list. Just want to throw that out there. So that's really all I got. I'm a little hurt this week. This week's been painful.
Okay, where was mom on the list?
Ahead of me? I don't even know. I didn't care. I knew where I was at. I was number 11, bro.
Did you ask her about it? Did you guys do a whole debrief?
I was like, shit,
so tell me what you were thinking.
She was like, oh, they're not in any particular order. Bullshit. I'm number 11. I should have been number 1 out the gate. I should have been number 1. I was number 11. That's 10 below 1. That's a lot. That's a lot, bro.
Why should you have been number 1 though?
Man, today she came home today and was like, Dad, I don't feel good. Like I'm getting a cold. I don't know what's going on. It fucking sucks. I'm drinking whiskey to kill it. I ate some honey, drink some whiskey. I think that's how they did it back in the cowboy days. That's how I'm gonna get down. So eventually, she walks in. She's like, Dad, I want an Alani energy drink. Can you go to the store? So like I got up, put on real pants, fucking shoes, drove to the store, got her an Alani. I'm number motherfucking 11. I'm 11 on the list, bro.
You should have said, 11. Call the 10 people in front of me and see if they'll go get you an Alani. And if they won't, maybe I'll go get it.
Yeah, you got a challenge for that seat, man, whenever you get a chance.
And by the way,
I didn't even walk. If this is barbecue, I'm not walking. It's like, I don't know. It's an Alani. Like, to me, it's the feminine of the energy drink. It's like you got Monster and like Rockstar and like these hard ass Zip Rippets and all this cool shit, Red Bull. And then like you got like Alani. I feel feminine saying Alani. Like it's like, can I get an Alani?
But you drink it though.
Oh fuck yeah, bro! It's delicious. Like you can't even sound manly saying it. Like it's like saying the word macadamia nuts. Like the word the word macadamian sound all the bass leaves. And you're like, can I get some macadamia? Like you can't even say the word like tough. Like the bass leaves your body, Ty. When you say Alani, it just sounds soft off the tongue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because normally you sound like a pretty awesome dude, but like, let me hear your order. Hey, I'm your bartender. What you want tonight, man?
Can I get an Alani and some macadamia nuts?
I'm sorry. Can you speak up, please?
I said an Alani and some macadamia nuts.
Gotcha.
Exactly. See, that's what happens.
Let's see. Shout out to Bob Mayer. Bob, let's talk about guests for you this week. Absolutely. We'll talk about guests with you anytime. CAA, Bob.
That dude, man. He sent me some pictures of some food. It looked good. Bobby's going down in the kitchen. It was some kind of like a shrimp.
Where he pays for really good catering.
Nah, bro.
It looked like it was homemade. Like
Bob sends me a lot of food pics. That dude, I give him shit, but that dude can throw down in the kitchen. He should come to a barbecue competition.
What do you mean?
We're going to need all the help we can get. I just want y'all to know that. Like I think I'm a little
did you
worried.
fuck up another brisket?
No, man, I banged out. I used so I bought, just so you know, Carlos was all like over the moon for me. Like, bro, I found a Gateway drum smoker for $500.
And you're bringing it with you.
It's in beautiful shape. Like he gave me all the accessories. So like I bought it on a Friday, brought it home on Sunday, and I had ribs on it. I had chicken on it. Like I did everything and it came out good. It's a little scary when you're using a Gateway because like the temperature, like it hold that. I put one bag of charcoal, one bag of like lump charcoal, wood charcoal in it. And that son bitch held temperature all day. Like I didn't have to add nothing, have to do nothing. So I was breaking in just to see how it does. I'm gonna use on that's. I sent you the picture of the Chief grill that Carlos gave.
First thing I said, fucking nerd. This is the first thing I said.
Yeah, bro. It was clean. I used it, broke it in.
An anchor burned grill mark on your steak?
I did not, because I was cooking ribs, so I didn't have any burn marks. But everything came out good. I'm like I haven't tried yet to cook everything together in one time to try to do like you would do at a competition. So we're really going to have to work together and use Ty Cobb's nerd brain to make sure we're on point with everything and we're like on time and we're tracking.
We've already established that this is your fucking brainchild. I'm gonna wrap some meat and throw it inside of wherever you tell me to throw it, and y'all can take that whichever direction you want. Okay.
Hey, to all you
challenge.
I'm reaching out now to any barbecue cookers out there that are like going to be in the area. Please come over. I accept mentorship and direction. Please walk over. Fucking course correct me. Are
you serious right now?
There's a lot, bro. There's a lot more into it than you think. Like trimming meat. I try to trim. Like I was trying to practice trimming.
You disappoint me. I could trim.
I disappoint myself. Okay.
I'll trim the meat. Let's go.
It's more than that. There's a lot more involved. I'm gonna have to get Tom.
He can do anything. That's what I love about him. He's like fucking Superman.
Don't worry. I'm gonna have Tom.
He's gonna learn. He's gonna learn once we
give me
there.
A knife.
How crazy!
I'm gonna have Tom Clark in the tent to don't do that. Do this.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do exactly what Tom Clark tells me. And when I'm done trimming that meat, I'm gonna turn around and be like, "That shit wasn't hard."
That shit wasn't hard, bro.
Because I'm just gonna follow directions
as the days draw closer. It's only a fortnight away. So just so y'all know, my wife kills me. She listens to like 1950s music all the time. Like walking around my house during the day, it feels like I'm walking around in World War II. Like I'm in a World War II movie. Like she's got like big band playing all this shit always. And then like she started talking like it's 1950, bro. Like she told me the other day, like I got dressed for work because I get dressed, even though I work from home, I get dressed every day because I feel like I'm more productive. And she literally was like, "What are you all gussied up for?" I said, "What the fuck did you just say? Like, who talks like that?" April does. April talks like it's not like we are big band. Like I'm getting ready to ship off to fucking fight the Germans. Like it's, bro.
Okay, Steve Rogers, here we go,
bro. It's crazy.
I see some role playing in your future, Al.
Yeah,
you gotta talk like this.
You gonna be Captain America?
How you doing that, baby? You want to go out? You want to go spend some? Come on.
You might be honest. I'm about to go buy.
But hold on though. You can't say that to Al. You can't say that to Al because Al's now gonna go way into the role play. I will have nothing of it. Shwack.
Smack her. Give her one. What?
I did that for your own good, baby.
Did that for your own good, baby. I get a cigar.
Remember, I did that for your own good, baby.
I'm telling you. So
you're right.
And April physically hates barbecue. Like she's like, you can't find another hobby. I'm like,
bro, you can come live with me anytime you want to.
I
tell you that perfect woman that you married, you loved her so much you married her twice, doesn't like barbecue.
She likes barbecue to eat it, but she hates the smoke. It gets in the house.
Oh, okay.
I smell like smoke. The garage smells like smoke. Yeah, that smells like freedom and democracy around the world. That's what it smells like. Smells like freedom and democracy. That's what that smells like.
Hell yeah.
We don't practice democracy in this house. We uphold it.
We uphold it. Thank you, Ty. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt. Let's we told him 3 or 4 minutes. It's been 15. Let's go ahead and get to our guest.
Yeah, I mean, today we have the privilege of speaking with Mr. Kevin Lombardo. He's in the Air Force. He's doing big things, and he helps veterans enjoy R&R in his free time. So without further ado, let's bring him on so we can get to learn more about him and hear some pretty cool stories.
There we go. Welcome to the show,
hey guys.
Sir.
Thank you, guys. Definitely appreciate y'all. Let me come hang with you on a great Thursday night.
Oh yeah, Thursday nights is always the night to look forward to because one, I didn't expect Al to get his heart broke by his daughter, his favorite, which that was a plus. And now I know that he walks around his house wearing World War II uniforms. It's great. You learn something new every Thursday.
Just from the top up, the bottom, it's just me. Just me.
In an American flag Speedo you've never done any kind of content video with.
I'm going to.
So Dusty Rudd, y'all saw in the group chat, Dusty Rudd said he'd come on in his America 250. So maybe you guys will have to open the show with a patriotic soliloquy, if you will.
Don't know what that means, but I'm down.
Are you gonna look that up and use that word for the rest of the week?
It's probably a 1950 word. My wife probably will use it tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll never take me alive, Steve.
Oh man. Well, Kevin, we appreciate you coming on, taking the time out of your day to just join the show and we get to learn about you and all of the ventures that you're in. But what we like to do on our show before that is we like for our audience to get to know our guests a little bit. So if you don't mind, let's start off with where did you grow up? Where are you from? And what kind of things did you do growing up in your hometown?
Awesome. So I grew up outside of Cleveland, Ohio, in a town called Bainbridge Township. I'm the baby of 8 kids. I have 2 older sisters, 5 older brothers. My dad and mom, first generation Americans. Both all my grandparents, came from Italy. My dad worked hard all his life. My mom was that caregiver. So good Italian family. My dad was a senior chief in the Navy. Then he went reserves in the 50s after World War II. Again, youngest of 8. So my oldest sister is 18 years older than me, and so we had a pretty big gap, but our family is extremely tight. Loved where I grew up. Went to my high school, Kenston High School in Sugar Falls, Ohio. Just a great community, great friends growing up, and just enjoyed what I did. And then my mom and dad moved down to Florida, down to Cape Coral, Florida, my senior year of high school. So I stayed behind, graduated, and then went down to Florida and went to the University of South Florida for college. I did about 3.5 years. Things were going good. I had gotten married, had a baby, and I just, I had my oldest brother was in the Air Force. My other brother was in the Air Force, and my brother Steve joined the U.S. Navy. So service is something that we had in our family, and tons of cousins and everybody. My son is currently in the Air Force, so it's something that we do so that others don't have to, or just the service for us. So I enlisted in the Air Force. Did about 5.5 years as an enlisted member. I was in Turkey, I was in Belgium, and then back to MacDill in Florida. And then opportunity came up. My dad had passed away, and one of the things that my brother Jay did, he was a senior master sergeant, at the time, and he sat me down and said, "Hey, you got your degree, you've done 5.5 years," and he literally pulled out in 1999. He pulled out the pay chart, and he said, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And I said, "Well, hopefully a tech sergeant, E6." And he said, "Okay." So he literally brought over and showed me how much money I'd be making as a tech sergeant at 10 years. And then he moved over to captain, and he said, "This is how much you would be making." I knew that the money was good, but that was a kind of hit in the head. It was something that I've always wanted to do, to become an officer. But that kind of pushed me, and he said, Dad would have want you to do this. So that next week I applied to every commissioning program I could think of and got selected in 2001, and then went to school and got my commission in 2002.
Gotcha. So let's let's roll the wheels back a
before you
bit.
quit, before you were a quitter and you were enlisted. Let's talk about your enlisted career. That's the fun stuff. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, sir. Don't have me.
No, it's all good.
Drop
I love
a nuke
that.
on my house.
Bro, you're good. You've already passed that. Al, they can't bring you back unless you do something really crazy. But who's not to say that didn't already happen. So you high school going into went into college. So you did 3.5 years in college. Did you join before you graduated, or did you graduate in 3.5 years?
I graduated in 3.5 years. So I actually had my bachelor's degree when I enlisted.
So then walk me through that. You go to the Air Force recruiter to join. You've got a degree. Did they even talk to you about officer programs at that time? Or were you just being newly married with a kid? I got to get out there now. I need to get in. I need to start getting paid.
No, I did talk to him. My goal was honestly was to do 4 years and then probably get out and go to a federal law enforcement position. But in that 4 years, had another child. That steady paycheck was good. Living in Europe, I was having a good time. And then I had to transfer PCS to MacDill. And that's when just a lot of things happened in my life where I had to make a decision like, hey, do I get out now and go to a federal position, or do I go for a commission? And it weighed on me. I talked to my family and everything. So it was a tough decision for me but to stay in was not a tough decision. I'd love to serve.
Yeah. So when you joined the Air Force, what was your MOS or rating? What was your job classification when you joined?
So when I joined, I was a law enforcement specialist with security police with the Air Force. Did my training down in Lackland, Texas, or Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. Did my, like I said, did my BMT down there, our basic military training, and then tech school down there. And then my first assignment was in Incirlik, Turkey, in the southern area of Turkey.
And what year did you join?
1996.
Oh, look at that. It's a great year to join the military. Not that I'm prejudiced or anything. So in 96,
I was 16 years old. I was still
probably in jail. I mean, it's true. Don't lie. It could be true.
I think Al froze.
You're lucky because I said I was in jail 2 years later. It wasn't in
jail or military, right?
Yeah, no, it was jail. I wish it was military. It was jail at that moment.
So going to Turkey, you went with your family on your first assignment to Turkey. Did they go with you, or were you by yourself?
No, I went with my wife at the time and my youngest daughter, who's actually 30 years old now. So,
wow. So what was it like to be super young in the military and now in another country? I'm sure that's the first time the both of you have been away from there. What was it like being completely over there? And, if you're a single person in the military, you go to another country, you're like, whatever, I'll figure it out. It's just me. But now you got your wife and daughter there. What was that like being so young and in another country?
It was challenging just because it was Operation Northern Watch was in full effect. So we were, at Incirlik, Turkey, that we had the flight line. You had PL-1 nuclear, or you have resources over there and everything. So it was busy. Like I said, my wife at the time and my daughter were. We had a decent house in Turkey, and so it was. I learned a lot because there was something called the village. You had a village outside the base, and then you had a village inside the base where all the TDY personnel, and there was 3,000 personnel that lived in the huts in Incirlik. It was the wild, wild west every single day, every single night, because they were working 13, 14-hour shifts. So it didn't matter if it was a day shift or a night shift. There was partying going on. There was fighting going on. Every hooch there had their liquor availability for liquor. So this was, again, pre 9/11. There was a lot of good things happening, but lots of fights, lots of silliness, and being a law enforcement guy, we were in it, 24/7.
Oh man! What was so?
I
So
like
walk
it.
me through in Turkey. What is the most memorable call you went on where you were like, I cannot believe you guys just did that right there.
I tell you what, and it's still one of the toughest fights I've ever been in. It was like we just came on. I did swings and mids. So, the swing shift was 3 to 11 or 3 to 2300, and then mids was 2300 to 6. So I just come on at around at the early shift, and 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon for 1500 hours, we get called to some place called the Wagon Wheel, and it was a country bar about as big as a regular little bar. And when you get called there because there's a fight, that means it's a pretty good fight, because usually there's Army MPs or Navy MAs who are working their off-duty hours, and if they call us, something is happening. And we show up, and there's 5 of us, and we go there, and it's a full-out brawl. I mean, these are some big guys, and dancing, they're drinking, and next thing you know, this this lady in a tube top and Daisy Duke shorts and boots on smashes a beer bottle over top of another guy's head, and it just shatters. I mean, the dude's bleeding. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to take her off to the side, and I'm just going to no, man, she wanted to fight. And that was no kidding. If you've ever tried to fight or tried to handcuff a 95-pound sweaty woman who doesn't have joints, everything is flexible, that was one of the hardest 3.5 minutes I've ever had, because she kept slipping the cuffs. I actually had to use her her tube top, put her arm through her tube top to handcuff her to her belt. So that was a great time. And then 5 days later, I'm on patrol, and who do I see on the flight line working on one of the jets out there? That E6 tech sergeant working out there. She waved at me, said, "Hey, that was a good time." I was like, "Yeah, for you, but all the paperwork I had to do sucked."
I got handcuffed by a 95-pound ladyboy in Thailand. It was crazy.
Was it crazy or fun or both?
Yeah,
It was a wild ride. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that a lady or lady boy?
I couldn't tell.
Who knows?
I still don't know.
Both.
It's Thailand. Who knows?
So did you do overseas for the majority of your first part in? I know you said you went to Turkey. Where did you go after you left Turkey?
So after that, I went to Kleinbrogel, Belgium, which was right around if you ever been up to the Geilenkirchen area, northern Belgium, right at literally 2 minutes from the Holland border, 15 minutes from the Germany border. So I worked up there for a little bit for 2.5 years before I came back to the States.
Got it. So, and you came back to the States 2000?
Yes, 2000.
So I know you were at a crossroads there of trying to decide what you were going to do between, I thought I was going to go be, the E6 and enlisted, but then your brother was like, you should go officer, showed you all that. And all this stuff is happening right around 2001, right? So were you trying to make this decision right around 9/11? Was that decision made before or after that happened?
It was made before 9/11. So I did, like I said before, my dad had passed away, and I had come back to the States to get closer to my mom and family and everything. So that I was able to go to MacDill Air Force Base, which was about 2.5 hours away from where my mom lived. That was already set before my dad actually passed away, but they fast tracked me by 2 months to get there. And I had already made Staff Sergeant E5, and once you make rank, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you even consider about putting in for a OTS or ROTC package. And at the time, the Air Force actually did a freeze on OTS packages. So my boss at the time found a scholarship opportunity for me to go back to school, work on my master's degree for 1 year, do a 1 year ROTC gig. And I did that, or I put in for that, got accepted. And I was actually deployed at the time. I was deployed from, I believe it was around July. I found out August 5th that I got my accepted to get my commission at ROTC at Kent State. I left the AOR. I was at Ali Salim Air Base in Kuwait. I left the AOR August 30th.
Wow.
I came back to the States, moved my family to Ohio, started school September 8th, and then that Monday, which was, I think, whatever that Monday was, that was my first day of school. So within 2 to 3 days, September 11th kicked off. And I was away from my guys and gals. It was such a hard time for me because, they said, hey, do you want to go back? And I was ready to go back, but my family was like, hey, you can't give up this opportunity now.
Oh, wow. So they were going to give you an option to leave school and go back with your unit?
Yes. So that was because, I literally out-processed August. I literally out-processed a week before that. And, sometime, one of those emails that came and said, hey, you have this opportunity. Do you want to take it? And I was thinking about it, but it was just a tough decision for me.
Oh,
hey, so hold on. Who's on the screen there? Can you see that? It said, "Hi, Dad." Lydia.
Oh, that's my daughter, Lydia.
nice.
Very
Hi,
nice.
Lydia.
Hey, Lydia.
Lydia.
So for you, this is interesting because we've had a couple of people on here recently that were also on not the same exact, but kind of the same track that you were on, right? They had gone into a officer type program and were in that officer type program when 9/11 happened, right? And a lot of those cases, those guys went back in to say, hey, they want to go back to the unit, and they were kind of told, you need to stay here, a long-term thing. Were you in like regular college as a military member? Were you in a ROTC unit? Did you have anybody there that was military that you could talk to? Or what was it like for you when that goes down? What happened with you? Like, was there extra things you had to do? I'm just trying to figure out, like, for the school perspective, were you around military or not?
So I was attached to Det 630 at Kent State University. I was considered in the inactive reserve, but during a wartime situation, you could get recalled. So that's where I fell into that, hey, did you want to come back? We actually had a couple guys in my ROTC class who were part of the Ohio Air Guard, and they got activated. They didn't have a choice. They got activated, and they went straight to, they went back to their unit. We actually had the Navy ROTC that's attached to Kent State. They had 2 Marines who were trying to get their schooling done. They got recalled, and that unit that those guys went back to out of Columbus in that area, those guys took devastating losses during the war.
And so how much total time did you do at Kent State? You just did a year?
I did 8 months, and I got my commission, and then went right back in.
Yeah, I was going to say, where was your first assignment as an officer?
So at that time, I was I had 2. My daughter Lydia, she was born actually in Turkey. So I had my wife at the time. I had 2 kids, and I had twins in the oven. So my ex-wife was pregnant with twins when we went up to the Great North to Minot, North Dakota.
Oh, son.
Let's
Minot,
go.
North Dakota.
Hey, Kevin, that's me and Matt's stomping ground, bro. I have, there's pictures of me somewhere with pants around ankles all over Minot. I had a blast in Minot. Like we were out of the military when we went, but it was absolutely awesome. I don't care if
Yeah.
people say Minot, North Dakota. It's a good kept secret. It's
I'll tell
All
you,
Al Hero needed to hear, Kevin, was they have the Patron capital of the world here, and he goes, "I got to see it. Let's go." Right now.
Willow City, North Dakota.
And it's crazy. I think I saw somebody in the comments here that
It was.
I was with Sean Dameron. I believe I saw it somewhere on the comments. He was one of my NCOs at Minot, North Dakota. Who's
Yep,
watching
Sean.
today?
Hey,
Yeah,
Sean,
there you go,
what's
Sean.
up?
Yeah, thanks for watching,
Yep.
Sean.
Met him in
That's
Minot.
awesome.
So, what was it like for you? I mean, so we're talking 8, 9, we call it 10 months, maybe, right? You're an enlisted guy. You come back. They send you to school for 8 months to get your, master's degree. You get commissioned, and now you're going from being an enlisted guy to being the guy in charge. How was that transition for you? Because you're still relatively young in your career at that point, right? So you were still getting used to like, okay, this is how you start to lead people, to now like it's all on you, dude. You got to do this.
Yeah,
What was it like?
I showed up to North Dakota, and if you guys know the mission up in, there's two separate missions up in North Dakota, but they're 2 legs of the triad that are up there. And my job was I was a flight commander for the missile field side. So I showed up, did my orientation, and they give you as a second lieutenant, hey, here's a master sergeant, here's a couple of tech sergeants, and here's 86 guys and gals, lead them. And so it was good. My master sergeant that I had was, he was at the tail end of a 22-year career. So he was a no joking guy, but we clicked, and that's what the good thing was. We clicked on that. We both had the same mindset. There were some lieutenants. I was 31 years old at this time. There were some lieutenants there that were 21 that just got done with school and everything. So 6 years may not seem a lot, but going through all the things that I already went through, becoming an NCO, you go to your NCO schools and stuff like that. So it did help me. And I did well enough that after a year and a half, I was selected to go to another squadron, and that squadron was the convoy flight, which was a certain amount of people who went and protected the movement of certain things throughout the missile field, throughout North Dakota.
So one thing that for me, I don't know about the other guys. So I don't know. Do you think that the structure of the Air Force helped you with that? Because I only asked that because my experience in working with the Air Force, is you guys are pretty particular in the jobs and the roles you do, right? Like if you have a job to do, you're going to do that job. Whereas my experience from CBs, I was a CB, so we were your equivalent of the Red Horse. I was doing 4 or 5 different things that maybe Air Force guys did, right? So like I remember specifically going to get equipment and stuff in Korea, and no joke, you got to wait for this guy to get here because the manifest is there, and then another guy to run the forklift, another guy to make sure that it's locked down and tied and ready to go. There's like all these checks and balances, right? And us dumb CB guys are like, we can just do all this right now, but there's that protocol. Do you think that structure helped with that transition? You think? Because I mean, everything has a place to go in a thing, right? It doesn't, and maybe I'm missing that boat, but are you guys pretty specialized? Is there a ton of cross training in the Air Force, or do you really know what you know, and that's what makes it work?
So one of the things that I think helped me tremendously was I went from enlisted security forces to officer security forces, but I still had to go.
Dang.
Hey,
can't tell those secrets.
Hey, the president said, plug, Trump got it. He got trumped. Hey, he started talking. They were like,
you can't tell the secrets of the Air Force, sir.
Hey, Pete Hegseth, you asked that question, was like, click. Hey, bro, they got him. He didn't go. The CIA kicked in his door. He is done.
Bob's
he'll
in
be
his
back.
couch laughing right now.
He's about to give. They were like, we don't know what he's about to say.
Yeah. That's
Ty, you're
interesting. But
muted. Ty, you're muted.
I was only asking because you remember how it was, Al, when we would go to the Air Force guys to get stuff, you know, like you have the forklift operator and then you got the guy that makes sure everything's tied down on the load.
When I went through A school, it was like that. Like they branched off and specialized in like wheel, transmission, like it did, and like the rest, like we were just like we kept going. Like they branched off. So it is very different.
For sure.
Yeah, hey, what happened, Kevin? Did Trump get you? Did
somebody hit the button or something?
It was Pete. Pete did it. Hegseth got you, bro. He was like, he didn't know what you. Yeah, good info.
That was.
You know what you were going to say. They had to cancel you.
No, so I think I was saying one of the things for me is I went from being an enlisted defender to a officer defender. I still had to go through a 4.5 month tech school, to learn how to lead, different areas, not just law enforcement. Now we had to do different kind of security, different kind of mission sets. To go back to what you were saying though, is, there are certain individuals in like you were saying, there are specialties such as Red Horse where they probably would have been more specialized to do more than one task. A lot of times the guys are they might not be signed off on a forklift, or they might not be, signed off on certain things. So, it just depends on what they do.
Yeah. For CBs, they don't give a shit. They're like, that thing's got 4 wheels and a steering wheel. We taught you how to do some version of that. Get in there and make it happen.
Air Force cares about people. The CBs were like, if he dies, he dies. Like they didn't.
We've got a whole bunch more in the back that know how to change the oil, dog.
Get up there and do that. You're like, but I'm not signed off. They're like, we don't care about you, bro. Or
we never asked if you signed anything. I will tell you though, being a Gulfport CB, so I was East Coast. We found every reason we could to be close to Keesler to go to the galley and eat, right? Because you could still go to the galley on the Air Force Base, even though Navy. Dude, we took advantage of that Air Force galley, man. We're like, man, these Air Force guys eat so good.
I always loved coming across on Victory Base Complex 0709 deployment. You had to go over to the Air Force, once a week just to treat yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was at Camp Victory in 05.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll hear about those in just one second. But Matt, to answer your question, I believe in the Army, you do have to kind of learn things differently. And maybe because we were in a light infantry base, our leadership, we knew you could talk to people that were like enlisted and then became lieutenants, especially in the MP and infantry corps. You knew how to talk to them. Now, I've had great experiences with like West Pointers, great experiences with college ROTC, but a lot of the times when they came to you as a lieutenant straight out of college and or an academy, they were a bit immature and cocky, but you never got that. So I think in the Army, I preferred the ones
prior enlisted guys.
Prior enlisted, yeah, for sure.
See,
I think that's all branches.
No, I don't think so. I think as a chief and a senior chief, I preferred the guys straight out of college. And the only reason I say that is in the Navy, we, when you get to that chief, senior chief, master chief level, you're training junior officers. It is much easier to help a junior officer that doesn't know understand how to do it than take someone who's got all that experience. I'm talking the Navy now, I already know how to do all this stuff. You have to, I guess figuring in the Navy, depending on if you were a CB or you were a sub guy or you were a ship guy, were you in the engineering or were you in navigation? There's all these different aspects that if you have somebody coming in that doesn't know much about it, like you can help mold and develop them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you don't have to break bad habits. I found that a lot of guys that were prior enlisted that became officers, they knew a lot, but they also didn't want to learn a lot either. You know what I mean? They would always have that attitude of, well, we were just the same before. I already know that, it's like, I don't need your help kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So I think
also,
there's a mix.
I think it has to do also with the types of mission we had. Like in the Army, especially Fort Campbell, we're light infantry and a bunch of support MOSs, so we're kind of light. So the mindset was, that's why I marvel at y'all's heraldry and things that you had with leadership, because my entire career we were just deploying. So you would appreciate an officer that was enlisted and just knew how to do movement, and that was the biggest thing. And when they get into country, how to act, I prefer those type of officers. But I've had good experience. I love the molding part, but y'all just take that to a whole another cool level in the Navy.
No, I think to Matt's point, I'm with you. Like if we had officers that we went down range with that were prior enlisted and had been boots on ground and understood it, it was easier to work with those guys and work for those guys. But what Matt's saying is like from a developmental angle, when you're in the leadership position and you're having to mold and develop junior officers, and you get that guy who was an E6 and he thinks like, you can't tell me shit, Senior Chief, and you're like, oh yeah, bro, you just wait. Vice the guy who's fresh out of college and is like, hey, Senior Chief, can you please help me? Can you show me?
Yeah.
Can you teach me? Can you tell me how do I do this? How do I, I'm doing my first counseling. How do I do it? Like, so it's a different dynamic, but I'm with you, Ty. If it was operational, I want a guy who's got experience, vice that green lieutenant out of fresh out of school. But to Matt's point, when we came from the leadership angle and I'm having to develop and train junior officers, I liked the junior officers that came in hungry and wanting to learn, vice the guys who were like, I already know all this.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I made a ton of mistakes, and that's where you got to learn from them. I remember when I was enlisted, there was a couple officers who were prior enlisted guys, and they thought they knew everything, and they didn't. Just going through my tech school, going through that, we had a couple of prior enlisted guys that just got back from Afghanistan. And I'm not throwing his name out there because I think he is watching, but Lieutenant Dan Hayes, the guy was the real deal. He came across, he taught us, hey, don't do anything stupid when you get to your bases, listen to people and go from there. And I think he was a master sergeant or a senior master sergeant when he crossed over to be a lieutenant. So I've had great mentors, as enlisted and as when I was a young officer, and I had a great master sergeant and a couple great chiefs that molded me to who I was at that time. And because I was in a no-fail mission in Minot as a young first lieutenant, you were given a lot of responsibility. The crew that you had was the top-notch airmen on the base, and that first assignment molded me to who I was and everything else from that day on.
Yeah, I mean, especially right after 9/11, right? Like you're in a moment where it's like we don't know what's going to happen next. And I mean, if anybody knows, they know. In that part of the country, there is no room for mistakes because the worst can happen, right? And so it's like, just making sure that you're ready to go. But it sounds like you were fortunate that you had great people to work with. We've heard stories of guys that they didn't have a great experience, but from there in Minot. So I did hear you say that you deployed over to Afghanistan, Iraq, in that area. How many total deployments did you do during that time over there?
So I actually PCS from Minot to Colorado Springs to Peterson Air Force Base. And I was there for maybe about 3 months before I did my first deployment. And I was with the 16th MP Brigade. I was on Task Force 134 at Camp Victory, working with the 2-star there on a certain trial that was going on in Iraq at that time of Saddam Hussein. So I was a daily scribe. I was going back and forth from theater internment facility, from Camp Bucca to Cropper to going through Nasiriyah to the prison up there. So and then going back and forth to the Green Zone for the trial. So that was a great experience. Unfortunately, my experience there was cut short. I had a family emergency where my twins actually got into a medicine bottle, and I had to leave at 11 o'clock at night, where the general's PSD team had to load me up, get me to the airport. And if you guys know, that drive from Victory to the airport is not a good drive during the day. And we did it at midnight to get there. And unfortunately, by the time I got back from that deployment, I had lost my daughter. She had succumbed to that. And my son was in a coma for a few days. So that put me in a different aspect when I got back home from that deployment. And it was tough on me, tough on my family, my kids. And that's where I went into a different mindset, something I probably wish I would have worked on a little bit more with my mental health at the time. But the only thing I could think of to escape that was to get back over and deploy again. And 6 months to the day of me burying my daughter, I went straight back to Iraq to a different assignment. So
I'm sorry to hear about your loss, man. That definitely sucks, dude. Yeah. None of us as parents ever want to know that we're still around after our kids are gone. So I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And that was 20 years ago this past December. My son is 23 years old now. He came out of the coma, and he had some troubles at first, but now he's in the military, works medical in the military, in the Air Force. So we had to move on. We had to do certain things, and unfortunately, things with my wife at the time didn't work out. And unfortunately, with families who lose a child, it's almost like an 82% divorce rate after a child passes away.
And do you think a lot of yours hinged on, I'm sure the answer is yes, but I'm going to ask, but 6 months of the day, you're back downrange. Do you think that had a lot to do with it too? I mean, this is going to sound horrible, but running from that just so that it preoccupies you to something else, and then everybody else has to stay back and still deal with it, right? That's I would imagine that would be their circumstance or situation, and it sucks to be in. But
I definitely did it. I definitely did it injustice to my 3 kids and my wife at the time. I probably should have stayed. My name came up, and they said it's time to go. We were on the 6-month rotations, and if I would have stayed, it was just one of those things. But the clock of my deployments actually reset. And if it wasn't for that reset, then I wouldn't have been involved in an incident where I was able to help a couple of people. So, things work in mysterious ways, and, me going there, I was at Camp Bucca with the Army again, and also the Navy, because the Navy captain took over the 23,000 detainees that we had there at the time.
Man. So, going from there, I would ask you, so you have how many kids now? I know you have more than.
So 3 kids that are mine, and then my wife now she has 3 daughters.
Gotcha.
Oh, the damn Brady Bunch.
We had 5 of them in the
Air
house.
Force Brady Bunch. Yeah,
5 in the house.
We had 5. We had 4 girls and a boy. Or we had a 21-year-old female, 2 17-year-olds, a 15-year-old, and my 9-year-old son living in one house at one time. So, and that's when my wife and I were just living together, and then we ended up getting married. So, but that was a fun time.
So when did you meet her after all that goes on? When did you guys meet?
So I came back from that deployment in 2007. In 2007, I was in Bucca 2006 and 2007. I came back 6 months later. I got tagged again to deploy. This time it was with the 1st of the 82nd Airborne Combat Team to Nasiriyah to Kab Adder in Iraq. I was in charge of a joint team, Navy, Air Force, Marines, civilians. We were in charge of the perimeter, the base, 2 clicks out, and then the gates. Also worked with a couple other teams there to do snatch and grabs and other things like that. And that's where my life actually turned around a lot. During we'd get bombed a lot, and we always said it, on Tuesday nights was American Idol night. Every time American Idol came on, they decided they wanted to bomb the base, and so we took a couple of hits. One night, I took some bad smoke inhalation. I got glass in my eye, but we were able to rescue somebody out of their chew. That was it was completely in flames and everything. And then a week later, we got hit again, but this time in the morning. It was 5:30 in the morning. Heard the first couple of explosions. I hopped in my vehicle. And over the radio, they said that the main gate took a couple of hits, and I had 12 people at the main gate. And so I started heading up that way, and there was a vehicle in front of me, probably about 70 meters in front of me. And a Katyusha rocket from 10 clicks out smashed into that vehicle, threw it up in the air, spun it around, instant flames, everything. And I was there, real quick, and saw a guy, that was still trapped in the vehicle, pretty bad. I was able to grab him out and move him over to the side. I ran back to the vehicle. There was one other person trapped in the vehicle, but unfortunately I could not get him out. He was burning pretty bad. Ran back to my car or my truck, grabbed my CLS bag, and went back over to the soldier who was, he was engulfed in flames at one point, his entire body. He had a right leg amputated. His third of his skull was gone. One eye was bulged. One eye was popped. So for 47 minutes, it was me and him out there by ourselves. And I was able to do the things that we were trained to do. You put on a tourniquet, you get the IV bag, you bandage his eyes, you do all this. And the whole time this guy was talking. He was talking to me like not like he was just talking. When, as you guys know, if somebody's injured, the best thing to do is just keep them talking. So after 47 minutes of me being out there, finally medevac was able to come. My other defenders were able to come. There was another person in that car that was thrown from the vehicle, and he had a massive head injury, and he ran. He just ran, so I wasn't able to get him down. But my defenders were able to track him down, had to tackle him and get him down the ground because he just didn't know what was happening. But that incident, shook me really hard. The soldier who turned out, his name is Sergeant Joel Tavera. He's considered one of the most wounded individuals from the Iraqi war to survive. 96% of his body was burned, right leg amputated, left arm completely, just not able to use. And but now, after the war, or after the, I went back home off that, I was in a dark place. I was just not doing the things I should have been doing. Work to me was, dealing with, a wing commander worried about the cones being too close to the road or the wrong color or scuff marks. And it just bothered the heck out of me. And that's when one of my daughters literally told me, like, hey, I want my daddy back. And I went to the mental health, and as you guys know, especially for me being a security forces member, when you get a red tag on your weapon, especially being a captain of the number 2 in the unit, and you have that red tag on your weapon, everybody's going to say, why? It was hard for me to go to mental health back then, but I did. And it started me on a better track to where I was. Again, my marriage was done. My kids were, I was a year and a half, I wasn't home. And one of the things that the mental health person said, hey, what happened to that guy? And I had no idea. So I looked it up on the internet, and I found out that he was down in Brooks Army Medical Center in the burn unit. And I called him. I called down there, and I was able to get a hold of the charge nurse who got in touch with his dad. And I was talking to his dad, and his dad's like, hey, he came out of a coma. He was talking, and he said that some dude, in the Air Force pulled him away and everything else. And a couple weeks later, when he was getting his Purple Heart ceremony, I was able to go down for that. And we're best friends today over it. I've been to his retirement. He's been to a couple of my medal ceremonies. He's been to my daughter's wedding. He's completely blind, but he's a world traveler. He does some amazing things. And, he's became one of my best friends. He's a motivation to me and to so many others. And so I actually, at this time, then I moved down to Texas, to Texas, and Joel was there. We got to see each other all the time. During this time is when I met my wife, or my wife now, Sandy. Again, I was trying to get back to being normal. I had to find a new normal again. There was a new normal after my daughter passed away. Now there's a new normal now. My wife was a very successful real estate agent down in San Antonio. And she came out and she saved me. And that's the best thing I could say. She helped me through so many different things. And at the time we were there, then a couple of years later, I got tasked to, I got picked up for command to go to Cheyenne Mountain Air Base in Colorado Springs. And she wrote me a note. She's like, hey, I'm not going to move as your girlfriend. I'm not going to move as a fiance. So either we get married or you're going to have a easy trip up to Colorado Springs. So I did the right thing. I put a ring on it. And, that was 14 years ago, and we've been married for 12 years now. And, and during the move, that's where she just, she was like, it's so hard to take licensing for real estate with you. So we did a bunch of research, and that's where she decided, hey, I like to travel. We like to go on cruises. So she bought a franchise from Cruise Planners, and we named it Valor Vacations. And we knew that we were going to have a military nexus, and, from different things and awards that I got, Valor Vacations just stuck, and we went from there. And over the past 11, 12 years, she's built a huge clientele. We have 4 military spouses who are associates. And that's how we kind of, been doing things. We've been doing work with a lot of nonprofit organizations over the years. But a lot of times she would get a phone call from, an Army sergeant or somebody saying, hey, I would love to take my kids on a Disney cruise. It'd be a husband, wife, and 2 kids. And she would quote it to them, and it would be like $17,000. And we would tell them that, and they're like, oh, my budget's only $14,000. So my wife would go out, and, chaplains are amazing. She would call chaplains. She would call different organizations to say, hey, can you donate any money? And even $100 or $200. But she was doing this on her back. She was doing it out of the love of her heart. And a lot of times we were just throwing in the extra money so that these guys and gals could have a great vacation. And over the years, we've done, events where she's done travel for Medal of Honor recipients, Gold Star families, Purple Heart recipients. And one of our people that we do a lot of work with, he's, Dave Hart of the Good Guys and Good Gals of the Weekend Warrior to Remember out of Dayton. He's like, you should just start a nonprofit. So over the past, 3 years, I've been thinking, and with my retirement coming up, last year I started putting the paperwork in, and Boots to Beaches was founded in December of 2025. And we're, 5 months in, and it's been going fantastic. We've helped 9 individuals so far. We helped with 5 Vietnam veterans to come to DC for the welcome home party that Gary Sinise did. So there's just a lot of things that we see that our military men, women, our first responders, we're open, our first EMT, fire department, nurses, we've opened it up to all of them. So currently we have 43 applications in right now for personnel who want to go on a vacation. And again, we're brand new. We're fundraising right now, looking for sponsorships. So when I retire, I'm going to run the Boots to Beaches side of the dual thing with my wife and her with Valor Vacations, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's something that I want to do, something that I love to travel. I travel all over with my job, but now just to go out and do things. The one thing I hated when I was even when I was a young airman or a commander, I commanded 4 times, was hearing an E6, E7 saying, "Oh, I got 90 days of leave." Well, that's disjustice to your wife, to your kids, and to you. You're not going to get that. What happens when they take that leave away? Because at some point you could have 60 days, other points you could have 100. So I saw so many people lose 30 days of leave because they thought it was cool. And
El Hero.
Yeah.
First of all,
that was a lot. Sorry.
I mean,
you pack all that in.
Hey, they didn't come in my sea bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't come in my sea
No,
bag.
I was just making the point that like you're talking about all these dudes like losing leave. That was Al Hero. That dude never took a day off.
Hustle till you can't anymore. But no. So with Boots to Beaches, so kind of talk a little bit about the mission. So I know you talked a little bit about that you guys are letting people go on vacations. How does the program work? Like exactly what is the mission behind Boots to Beaches? What exactly do you guys do? What are you doing for the veterans? And then the last piece of that question would be, if people out there watching and listening want to donate, want to get involved, what's the best way to do that?
Awesome. So what we do is, we have our website, bootstobeaches.org. You could go on there, learn about us. There is a donation slot on there that'll go to Zephy. And what we do is we're going through a list of people, and we're going to we send them a questionnaire, and our board that we have will use a rubric to figure out who's the best suited at this time for a vacation, a restorative vacation. We have a clinical licensed marriage therapy counsel, Miss Susie Landolfi, world renowned. She when the opportunity came up, she jumped at us to give her guidance. And we have a wellness coach. So what we're going to do is before they even go out on a vacation, we're going to give them, they have to talk to both Susie and Chris Jones, who's our wellness coach, how they're doing. Is there something specific that they are looking for out of this vacation? Now, if they just want to go on a vacation to Disney World or go on a cruise just to have fun, that's maybe not the right customers or the right personnel that we want to do. We want to find somebody who, they just got back from, 180 days at sea and they're having troubles with their spouse, or, they just want to reconnect back with their family. So we tailor a vacation to them. We try to make it as 100% cost-free to them as possible. Now, there are certain things that we won't do. We won't, like on a cruise ship, we can't pay for their alcohol, and other things like that, just by the rules of where we are in Virginia. But we try to make it 100% cost-free to that individual. Now, if we have sponsors and other things like that want to help out with those, the taxes and other things, great. But we will try to take care of that as much as possible. And then they come back from their vacation and they're required to, again, talk to Miss Susie and then talk to Chris Jones again to give hey, where are they? And then 2 months later, we're going to contact them again and see how they're doing. A lot of times there's some nonprofits out there who bring people in and then they have a great time. That person clears their mind for 2-3 days and then they send them back and they don't do any kind of follow-up. I've been through those programs and it's not good. And I like to see where our people actually get some reach back to us. Miss Susie, 24/7, she's available. And not just to the people, but to the families out there too.
And Kevin, I think that piece of you guys' organization is amazing, because I remember going through inpatient therapy, 30, 45 day inpatient for PTSD and different, going through a program. And I remember coming back and there was no follow-up, outside of like, go talk to the wizard, get some different medication type of stuff. So I think that piece is pretty amazing, considering the follow-up side of it matters just as much as the vacation itself, because I remember my wife asked me like, oh, how was the hospital that they stuck you in and took your belt and your shoelaces? I was like, it was Disney World, because in that place, it's all structured. It's all controlled. It's easy to learn how to function as a normal human being. And then they release you back into the wild and you're like, here we go again. Right. So I think that aspect of what you guys are bringing to the table is pretty amazing and pretty astonishing, because the follow-up care after you get the initial care is just as important as that first piece of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if, one of our things is our tagline is honor, restore, and reconnect. Yeah, again, we're brand new, but we're getting traction. One of our ambassadors, who I've met before, and I've followed her for many, many years. Former prisoner of war Jessica Lynch, she's one of our ambassadors. So having somebody like her and other people like, there's a few other people that are in the bin right now. We're trying to get them to officially come on, because they believe in what we do. They believe that not just a vacation is what people need, but also the, talking to people about it and having that callback, that's important to me, because I've been through so many different nonprofits and stuff like that. And, one, they're pretty consistent. I'll get a text message saying, hey, how you doing, Kevin? And that means a lot to me. Others, they want you to come in, speak, make their money, and kick you to the curb.
No, 100%. So before I forget to ask, because Ty's already got his glasses on, so like we about to heat things up around here, Kevin. I don't know if you know what that means, but it get ready to get hot. But I do want to talk to you about, I know you mentioned you're getting close to retirement. Mm-hmm. So, it's the end of the military road for you, and you obviously got some pretty impressive stuff going on and some new chapters opening up for you. But how has the preparation for retirement been, and that future transition looking like for you? Are you prepared for transition? I know you're probably, how far are you from retirement, Kevin?
February 28th is my official date out.
So you're right there. So how's the transition been like so far, like the preparation for retirement?
So I've been through executive taps before, but I'm actually going back again Monday and Tuesday for the Air Force. They bring in a specialized a course for us to do.
Of course they do.
Of
course they do.
The cake eaters, we get to do that. So I'm excited for that. But it was funny because when I put in for my retirement, they say you can't do it until a year out. And I put it in for 1 March was my final date, because I'll have over 30 years. You got to have 3 years time and grade, and I'll have all that. But like a week later, I got my approval, and then they send you your orders so you could start your stuff. And like the next day, I got like 22 emails saying, you're late on this. You're late on this. You're late. I'm like,
you need shots. You need Japanese encephalitis.
Yeah. It's like, I need it. Like I need all these things. And, the one thing that concerns the heck out of me is the VA process, because I just hear so many horror stories from my friends who, they're 3-time, 4-time combat veterans from Afghanistan and Iraq, and they get out and they get 20% disability. And they're like, what? They've been, tons of things have happened to them. But then I learned that they never went to the hospital. They didn't never did anything, during that time frame. They were in firefights, they were in this and that, and they never went and talked about it. One thing that I learned young old was, to go and talk about my problems. So I've been in mental health counseling, PTSD counseling, since 2008, rigorously. And actually, I just graduated from the Intrepid Center at Fort Belvoir, the Intrepid Spirit Center. I'm sure you guys know about that. It's a fantastic addition to the hospital, where they take TBI patients, PTSD patients, and they really deep dive into what is wrong. And I found out that I had something called PTSD eye, where my, from the explosion, my eye doesn't focus properly. And for years I had no idea. And, I threw and you guys should know this, you throw things in a box. When it happens to you, you throw it in a box. And they made me open that box. I started writing things down, and then that turned into, 5 pages, turned into 50 pages. And now, I actually am at almost 250 pages of something that could possibly be a book. I don't know. But it's something that helped me out through my recovery.
So last question, Dan. Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, before you ask that question, I just want people that are listening now and that will listen to this when we post it. You're talking to someone right now that is like the pinnacle of leadership in the Air Force, and he's telling you that he has been in mental health counseling for a long time. So that alone, you weren't where you are today when you started doing that, and you still were able to ascend the ladder and get the promotions and get the jobs. Mm-hmm. So that right there should be proof enough to say that it's okay to go out there and talk about it and get help. Like you said about your friends, I just want to make that point. Absolutely. Before, I'll ask that other question of like, you're at the top of it, right? In the profession, being the rank that you are and the things that you're doing. So anybody that's out there listening, it's okay to go do that, right? You're not going to not get any opportunities because you went and talked about it. If anything, I'll tell you right now, Kevin, because you did what you did, the VA is just going to be like, just sign here and we'll take care of this right now. Like you're going to be pretty good because you have what you need documented, right? The things that you've talked about. So I think you're going to be in Ty's shoes for VA process. Pleasantly surprised at how flawless is probably not the best word to use, but how flawless it's going to go for you, being that you have everything documented that you need.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be surprised. It'll be pretty easy.
So I don't have a question now because, Kevin, I was going to ask what advice, would you say to the junior airmen, Marines, sailors? What would you say, as they're processing out, what should they do? And I think you've kind of answered as far as like, hey, go get help, go to medical. If you're hurt, go say you're hurt, get it treated, get it taken care of. Not because you're wanting 100% disability, but because the military is going to end one day, and you don't want to end up in a wheelchair or be broken and you're not any good to your family because you were too prideful to go ask for help. So go get the help that you need when you need it. It's free. The military is paying for your health care. If you sprain your ankle, go to medical. If you're having issues with mental health, go to medical. It's free. They're paying for it. They want to take care of you, and it doesn't halt or stop your career. If anything, it makes you a stronger a leader and a better
Mhm.
individual to be able to tackle and help others.
Yeah, that's something definitely that, when I came back my third time from deployment, I had a great commander, Denny Allison, and he was like, "Hey, you need help. I know you need help. Let's go get help." And that was fantastic. And here I am sitting at 30 years, like you said, a colonel. My clearance is as high as it could be. I never had anything happen with my clearance. I know that's something that stigma is out there, where if you go talk to mental health, you go to the hospital, they're going to rip your clearance away and do all this. That's the biggest bullshit comment I've heard. And I still hear it. I still hear young airmen say, "Oh, I don't want to lose my clearance." Well, it's not going to happen. Now, if you do something stupid, you're in a domestic violence situation, you're in that, then things could happen. But if it's something duty related, we have guys show up to, unfortunately on military installations, you show up and a baby was thrown against the wall, and then, this 21-year-old female who's, a brand new mother, is trying to get her baby, and a defender or MA or military police are giving CPR to a baby. You don't think that's going to screw with their head later on in life? And
Right.
That happens. Unfortunately, it happens all the time on military installations.
Right.
Yeah. Well, since you drug it all the way down with that one, Kevin, just saying.
Well, let's
We're
go
gonna
something
We're
fun.
gonna let Ty heat it up for you, right? So me and Al are gonna go take a break, and now you're all ties, and we'll see you in a minute.
All right, here we go. Appreciate you coming on, man. I really enjoyed hearing your stories. It's therapeutic just to be able to do this show. And like I told you in the green room, we don't share war stories, but man, when you go to retire, and congratulations on your retirement, when you go to retire, just tell your story just like that, and you can see all the service connection. Like, God bless you for going through what you've been through, and get to this point to be so absolutely positive and going forward in life. So normally don't get mushy on the hot seat because we just like to have fun here a little bit, but yeah, damn it, it was a good story.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I definitely appreciate it.
All right, first one. Are you a beer guy or liquor guy?
I'm a bourbon dude. I like my bourbon. I like beer too, but I like my bourbon.
Okay, gotcha. So here's what I'll ask. What would it be?
I'm sorry. Can you re-say that? I think my microphone or my earphones went out for a little bit.
Okay, so you say you're a bourbon guy. So if you had one bourbon for the rest of your life, what bourbon is that you're going to be sipping on?
Oh man, look over at my stuff there. I'm like one of those homers. I like Buffalo Trace, so Blanton's I would drink, but if it's everyday drinking, I love just straight up Buffalo Trace. But Blanton's is really good. I like Booker's. Those are some things that I just like. So, but Buffalo Trace products, Eagle Rare, Blanton's, and E.H. Taylor. If I could get one of those all the time, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I think my favorite. I went to Eastern Kentucky University there in Richmond, and I became very acquainted with Maker's Mark. So when I'm just regular drinking, Maker's Mark. But April 1 bourbon and Brass and Anchor. That's what I'm drinking most of the time when I like good stuff. So
nice.
All right. Oh, what's up, Matt? All right, next question. What is the most unique place that you've ever visited in the world?
I'll have to say Djibouti City, Djibouti.
Oh, okay. I've been to Djibouti, so go ahead. What was athletic about Djibouti?
It was it's crazy because the wealth and the poverty line is just apparent. Like, you could be at a 5-star hotel that's beautiful, great food, buffets, and you drive a minute and a half and you're in the poorest of the poor and the people there are just squandering around trying to find food, but they seem happy. They, you give them a soccer ball and a soccer game comes out. But Djibouti was really rough to be there, and see the difference in somebody with money and somebody without money.
Absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's beautiful. 1 hour conversation with one person from history. Who would you talk to, and what are you going to be talking about?
Oh, wow. History. I know this is going to sound bad, but, with all the people out there, but, being military, just to talk to, like, not Hitler, but like Rommel, to see what his plan was, what he wanted to actually do, because there was a lot of things that he did not want to do with the Nazis. But, I know that might not be a favorite person, but, just a tactician wise, listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, I recently watched Nuremberg, and what could possibly be going on in your brain when they tell you to, just put humans in ovens. It's crazy
Right.
what they could possibly be thinking. All right, let's lighten the mood even a little bit more. So, first concert, best concert.
Oh, first concert. Man, I think it might have been. I know this is crazy. It was at the Peabody's Down Under in Cleveland. It was They Might Be Giants and Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. If you ever heard of them.
Oh, I know What I Am Is What I Am.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think I was 16 years old, and a few of us from the radio station I was at, we went down there, and it was fantastic.
Isn't Edie Brickell married to like Paul Simon or something? Or like,
I'm not sure. Somebody famous though.
Yeah,
I think
somebody.
yeah,
Absolutely.
she's a heck of a songwriter. So yeah, that was my first concert. Now my best concert. Oh man, my best concert. Again, I'm going to go off the wall here just because I enjoyed it with my kids. Was taking my kids to the Justin Bieber concert. This was a lot of years ago when he actually looked good and could sing, but just to see my daughters enjoying themselves and going crazy. And I went deaf there for probably about 5 days after that concert. But, I've been to the Stones, I've been to Grateful Dead, I've been to so many different concerts, but to see our kids actually loving what was happening, that was so much fun.
Yeah, I always. I've got 4 daughters and 2 sons, so it's really cool to see all my daughters go to the Taylor Swift. My wife is a Swiftie, so I don't. I know the songs from hearing them, but like I don't get into that. But there's something about when your daughters.
Oh yeah,
love it. So much emotion is right there in that music. That's why I love the answers you get. There's a variety of answers you get for that question. All right, give me your best elevator pitch for Boots to Beaches. Just what makes it so unique?
It's unique because, number one, there's a lot of organizations out there who say they want to help and do things. And it might be, hey, let's go shooting. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. But it doesn't include the family. It doesn't include their daughter or their son. A lot of the Gold Star families that we work with, they're sometimes they're cash strapped or the money is tied up in other things and they don't get to enjoy a vacation or something like that. We provide that mental health break where they don't have to worry, do I put money into the vacation jar this year, or do we have to pay insurance, or do we have to pay for this or that? It's hard for especially people with nowadays with the cost of living or other things like that, where a 5-day vacation with their kids or their spouse just to reconnect again. That's what we want to do. That's what our whole purpose is to make sure that, men and women of the military or nurses or somebody who's worked so hard that doesn't get the opportunity to take that vacation they really want, and give that to them. And, we always love to give back. And that's our biggest thing, the honor, restore, reconnect. Sure, that's a tagline, but that's what we want to do. We want to give back to the people who deserve it so much.
That's amazing. I love the pitch. Appreciate that very much. All right, what is one military lesson that you started doing, in your long, extensive career that you're going to carry on with you afterwards?
Well, I could always say, it's funny because, you hear all these great leaders. You hear Admiral McCraven, like, hey, make your bed every morning. I'm not kidding. When I get up every morning and I make my bed, I always, no disrespect to Admiral McCraven, but I'm like, fuck you, Admiral McCraven, because it's something that I always say. But for me, and I'm sorry if I swore there, for me, it's, I believe in taking care of your people. If you take care of your people, and it doesn't matter if it's your airmen, your soldiers, sailors, Marines, Guardians, Coast Guardmen, if you take care of them, they're going to take care of you. One of the things that I believe in too is we're always told to check on our people. Well, as leaders, sometimes, do you know what the best thing I've ever received was? A phone call from one of my NCOs or an officer that I worked with years ago, and they called me up and they're like, hey boss, how are you? And I take that and I check in on my old bosses. One of my old bosses, he is actually going to be the next 4-star of the Space Force. I worked with him for when I was younger at Cheyenne Mountain, and now he's the 4-star going to be at the Space Force. And I shot him a note the other day saying, congratulations, boss. I'm glad to see this for you and your wife. And he sent back, wow, thank you, Kevin. And that meant a lot. So I always check on we always say check down, but I always check up. I always check up on people.
I love to hear it. There's something about, the NCO call chain, even to this day, I'm still involved with a lot of those people that were with me back in the day. And that's a wonderful answer. You have to hook us up with a Space Force guest. We've not had one of those yet.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
I think I know a couple.
There you go. Hey, so here's the last question. Well, we got 2 more questions. Here's the last big one. Who's the greatest of all time, Prince or Michael Jackson?
Oh, I gotta go with Prince. Unfortunately, I'm not a big Michael Jackson fan. I love Prince, so I'll definitely go with Prince.
Okay, gotcha. I myself am also a Prince man, so I absolutely love that he played every instrument. So Prince is my favorite as well. But all is right with the world when Prince wins. So appreciate that answer. All right, last question before we get out of here. I'm going to bring the guys back in for this one. What can we do to make our podcast better?
Oh, wow. This has been fantastic, number one. I like to hear from each one of you guys a little bit more. I know, we had our pre-show and stuff like that. I got to learn a little bit from you guys. I watched your previous shows, but I think you guys are nailing it. You bring a whole wide of spectrum of personnel on guest speakers on the show. Me just being part of the Boots and Beaches community, trying to get on podcasts, you guys were really quick on answering back. And that's what this is all about, is veterans taking care of veterans. And I definitely appreciate you guys. You guys are on episode 149, so you got to be doing something right. So I definitely appreciate that. And you guys are killing it. I definitely appreciate y'all. And hopefully we'll continue this partnership. And, when things happen or you guys need something from us, and one thing I just wanted to throw out there for Valor Vacations, whenever we do our things, my wife always donates money back to our veterans, either to Boots to Beaches, to Good Guys and Good Gals Foundation. So there's a lot of things that we do on our business side to help veterans out, and booking a vacation through Valor Vacations will absolutely help Boots to Beaches. It will absolutely help another nonprofit. And we got like 5 different nonprofits that we specifically work with every single day.
Well, I know who I'm booking. I'm booking my next vacation through Valor Vacations. That's for sure.
I was going to say, Kevin, you've been on the show. That means you need to say some stuff about anything that's coming up in the future. Or you just want to come on to shout something out, or something big's happening. Like, you're part of the family now. All you got to do is get a hold of one of us and let us know that you want to come on for a little bit to share some stuff, and you're right in the door, man. 100%.
No, thank you guys. Definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure, brother. And I won't be booking any vacation time soon. The way my bank account is set up and the way my credit score works, probably not going to be any time in the future. But, I vacation to Texas for barbecue and for hanging out.
He's not talking shit about Texas.
Yeah, you're a couple hours away from the port down there, so we get you on a nice cruise. So
that's right. Yeah. I love Texas, Ty. I talk shit about Texas because I love it. Like, it's like,
hey, I'm just saying a nice triple threat vets cruise would be nice. You get
we could do a triple threat vet. We've talked about that, Kevin. We'll have to book it through you guys. We talked about doing it and doing a podcast from a cruise ship.
Absolutely.
That's very true. But I know that I'd have to get my wife on that boat first.
Yeah.
So maybe we're gonna have to pick a land destination.
We could do Cancun. We could do something.
Don't bring your wife, bro. Bring your girlfriend. Like, don't worry about Becky.
The same person.
I know. But just tell Becky, blindfold her, I'll roofie her, and we'll get her on the ship, and she'll wake up on the ship and not know what's going on, bro.
Dude, she watches the news, bro. No, we're good.
Yeah, Baracus, you drug her and put her on a plane.
Well, I'll tell you what. Make sure you guys shoot me your addresses, and I'll get you some of our Boots to Beaches hats here. So,
hell yeah, dude.
I love a hat. We do love a good hat.
I'm a hat guy. We love a good hat.
All right.
And if you ever want to switch over and get some really good quality hats made, I know a guy named Matt Johnson who makes some pretty sweet hats. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay. We're always looking for sponsors. There you go.
There we go. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, I want to give the shout outs. You've had a lot of people in the chat. I just want to talk about some of these. Steven, I guess, he's your brother.
Yeah,
made a good decision. Like, and your daughter's in here, Sean Dameron. And then there's so many people that said they're out there and love your story. Keep sharing your story, man, and we will definitely push people towards Valor Vacations, which definitely helps the Gold Star families and first responders and everything with Boots to Beaches. Sir, we appreciate you so much. Matt, you got anything more?
No, I was just going to say thank you very much for coming on and sharing some of your story and telling us about what Boots to Beaches does. We are very excited for what you have coming. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for your service to the country, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
We missed a couple. Ty, Linda, it's his sister. Shout out, Linda. Sandy, it must be the wife. Sandy, shout out. And then you've had a couple in here but yeah, we just want to make sure we shout out.
Yeah, there's Sandy. Sorry about that.
Yeah, she's my better half right there. So she's a lot prettier too. So you guys want to get her on the show? I can tell.
She's the 2-star in the house.
Yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely, we'd love to hear. Any updates that we do, we'll bring you both on, because the story of how y'all met, the things that you've went through, and where you are now, and what you're doing to give back to share a modality of therapy that we like to talk about on the show. Love it, man. It's the greatest. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Lombardo.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. That's pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
yeah.
Coming in, I was like, Air Force is going to be soft as baby. Man, he's awesome, man. He makes me even more regret joining the Navy. Like, I'm kicking myself now more that I didn't join the motherfucking Air Force. Like, damn, what was I thinking? Like, this guy, and you know what? like from an enlisted perspective, he gave us his perspective, and then his officer. I mean, I'd work for this guy in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Like, this guy is great. Like, that's leadership 101. He's giving back to the veteran community before he retires. Like, that's very, very impressive. I mean, because there's a lot of guys who when we talked about them, Ty, they come out of the service, they get involved with an organization that just takes advantage of veterans or in it for the money, and they're trying to just get money off of the backs of veterans. Him and his amazing wife are doing something prior to him even getting out to give back to a community that he's eventually going to be a part of and be, full scale in on. It's amazing. His story is amazing. What he's been through, what he's done, how he's persevered. My hat's off to him for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the story, and we'll definitely be catching back up with them. But future guest, I mean, I guess we're about to get out of here. Future guest next week, we have Chris Rivers. I forget whose guest this is. Which one of y'all booked this guest?
Oh, that would be me. I mean, I saw him somewhere. And
it's cool. I love what they're doing.
Yeah, interesting story. Can't wait to hear it, man. It's gonna be good.
And then the week after that, we've got AJ Merrifield. So another MP, but I promise you, this MP is not going to be telling just regular MP. We're going to be talking about some funny stuff. It's my man AJ Merrifield. He's done some really cool things in his military career that are just cool stories that he's going to have to tell. So looking forward to that one as well.
I heard this might be the roast of Bob Mayer. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I can't wait. Bob's already like, oh shit, I can't wait to roast some Bob Mayer.
Yeah, I think the 10th is the roast of Kevin Hart. This is going to rival. We're going to roast
the roast of Bob Mayer.
Yeah. He's
That's
ready.
Funny.
So it should be fun. But Matt, I'm done. If you are, take us out of here, bro.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, it's another Thursday, another great story, another great veteran or soon to be veteran out there helping other veterans. So if you guys are looking to go on vacation, you might as well support a veteran-owned business and reach out to Valor Vacations. You don't just have to live where they are to book your vacation through them. All you got to do is get in touch with them. And remember, they give back to veteran nonprofits, which is another thing that we're all about. Just want to thank you guys for coming in today, hearing another amazing story. Don't forget, Ty told you guys in the beginning, I'm telling you now, subscribe to YouTube. That way it tells you when we're on, so that when you're really busy, which we know most of you aren't, you won't forget. You'll jump in, you'll watch, but more importantly, share it with somebody that may need to see it. And we can't wait to see you guys again next week. That I'm out.
If you or someone you know is in crisis, contact the Veterans Crisis Line at 1-800-273-8255. Then press 1.